This is Teach Your Way with BenQ, where educators find ideas that work. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Teach Your Way with BenQ. I am Carly, and this is
Maddie.
And we're from the MarCom team here with BenQ Education. Today, I want to thank you guys for joining us for the podcast. We're going to be talking as we're going into this holiday Thanksgiving season, what we're thankful about, what we can do with our boards in the classroom. And then joining us today from Royse City ISD, we have a couple of rockstar teachers and tech professionals that are going to be talking about what they're thankful for. And we have Korie Smith, Villarreal, Samantha Phillips, and Chandra Arvie that are joining us. I'm going to let them introduce themselves real quick and what their positions are with the school.
All right. I'm Korie Smith, and I teach first grade at Anita Scott Elementary.
Hi, I'm Villarreal, and I am an innovative learning specialist at 3 campuses. That's Scott Elementary, Davis Elementary, and Herndon Elementary.
Hi, I'm Samantha Phillips. I'm also an innovative learning specialist, and I do it for 3 campuses. I do it for Arnold, which is our pre-K campus, and then Fort Elementary and Cherry Elementary.
Hi, I'm Chandra Arvie. I am the 3rd Elementary Innovative Learning Specialist, and I am at Sarah Moss Elementary, Paula Walker Elementary, and Miss May Vernon Elementary.
Wow. Okay. I've been at your campus. I didn't realize there were that many elementary schools, ladies. So this is great. I've got the great teachers who are helping with the littles right now and up through 5th grade. So that's wonderful. When you start to talk about and what you're thinking about with your BenQ boards, what have you guys found that's really like engaging your students and helping them to really get their aha moments with the content that you guys are working to help them learn?
I use Google Slides a lot in my classroom, which gives me the opportunity to set up beforehand what we can do. And so a lot of times we have an opportunity to use technology, but also like I flip back and forth just because I think there's a healthy balance. But I have a lot of things like, for instance, I was really worried a couple years ago when we get these big boards. I'm like, oh, are they safe? Are my kids going to be okay? And just to let you know, nobody's ever got hurt from it. But I wanted at the beginning of the year a way to introduce the board and say, like, we're going to be really careful because the bottom legs are hard, you know? And I was like, if you're doing silly stuff on the rug, you can get hurt. So we call it Benny Boy in our class. So, which then, of course, led into other things like one of the ways to get their eyes on the board, I'm like, eyes on Benny Boy. And they, repeat after me. They're like, eyes on Benny Boy. So even though it's technology and it's fun, they're 6. They have a tendency to look away. And that's one thing that I'm constantly like, eyes on Benny Boy if they start looking around or getting crazy. Also, this is my favorite thing in the whole entire world, because
what is that again? Because we see it just like a little
clicker. I don't know what its real name is. I call it a clicker, but it gives me the opportunity to do stations and things like from my teacher table, even though my board is far. But again, with my slides, then, they have stations that are pre-set up, where they can see where they're supposed to go. And then I can, in between my slides, there's a 1-minute timer to clean up and go. So I can click from my table. And I recommend any teacher, I'm like, you don't have a clicker? And they're like, no, what is that? I'm like, a clicker. But I also have it's like a pointer. There's probably a professional name. So if you want to put that in there where I look like a genius, then I can use my pointer. Like we have like a number line in the classroom, things like that. But it helps me to stay on track, like having my slides and using it like that in order, whatever. And of course, all the areas.
For our multi-campus specialists, let's ask a question for you guys. Why is gratitude an important part of reflecting on technology and education? Like, what have you guys seen? How long have y'all been in classrooms? And what have you guys seen that has changed with the new technology that have been implemented?
So this is going on my 4th year in this position, right? I think. And when I started, we had projectors and we recently switched over to the BenQs. And as with any technology, it can be frustrating sometimes and change is hard. But I think it's very important to express gratitude and have that mindset because it has really pushed and changed instruction in our classrooms. It's allowed us to do some things that we could not do just with the projector. It's allowed our kids to be more involved. Just a lot of areas. And we are very thankful for that change. There's some innovation that is happening in our classrooms now that we did not have before?
I would say, to piggyback off what Chandra was saying, yes, we just a very short time ago had projectors in the room. And so the interactive component of the BenQ boards has been a game changer. As Chandra was saying, there's obviously a learning curve. And so rolling out anything new district-wide involved offering some training opportunities to our teachers, and they've just embraced that change with open arms. And once they realized the features of what BenQ could offer versus just a projector, I've just seen growth with them over time, with the students engaging in the board more, the students doing the teaching, using the boards for stations, using the boards for multi-students to come up and solve a problem at the same time. So it has definitely transformed the learning experience in the classroom. And I would say we're super thankful that our district and department and curriculum all work together to embrace that change and make it happen.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And Samantha, did you want to share with us?
I will add that the thing that I think I'm most thankful for is that everything we do in education really boils down to our students and how our students are moving and how we move the needle in their learning. And as much as we want to do that, sometimes we do need to move forward to make that happen. And so our classrooms are now becoming more interactive. And so our students are not just getting the information, but they're participating in the information. Like Kim was saying, I go into rooms and I see the students are responsible for doing things on the board, and they're using the board as one of their stations. And so it's really making that a collaborative space where it's no longer just the teacher, but she's more of a facilitator, and the students are moving through their own learning. So
that's a really great point. I think that's the biggest thing that we're seeing right now in ed tech, and especially in education, is like letting the same way we kind of created a piece of hardware that allows you guys to teach where you're at and how you teach your way. It's about getting students empowered in their own versions of learning, to excite them and to get them moving with the content so that they really like grab hold and it sinks in and stays with them for years and years. So I love that thought process. Thank you, Samantha. That was wonderful. So for this next section, we're gonna break down some things that are kind of highlights with the board. If you guys have something, just like raise your hand and we'll let you guys go. One is going to be like, as far as with the board, like ease of use, student engagement and collaboration and flexibility. I think you guys have hit on like parts of this, but if you have like an example that you've either heard from a teacher or if you've seen in a classroom that you'd like to share, we would love to have that as we go into it. 3 of the tenets that we have with the BenQ board is ease of use, student engagement, and collaboration and flexibility. Do you guys have any stories or anything you'd like to share with us around those 3 tenets of the product?
Whenever I do writing or even phonics, even math, it's really throughout the whole day. It allows me to share, like I always think about it when you talk about shared writing, shared reading, even though I'm not physically handing a pen because normally we just use our finger. But it allows them to come up and kind of, take a risk that maybe because they see me doing it every day and they're comfortable to come up and try in front of everyone. They're not afraid. I enjoy that part, especially I think because of the erasing, how easy it is to write and erase. They're not afraid. Whereas I feel like, in previous years, if you're using like an anchor chart even and they mess up, like they're like, oh my gosh, now there's a big mess on it, whatever. Well, this you can just erase and we keep going. And then I'm also so technology savvy that I've learned like how to save things that we've done. So I'm like, we have proof, like here's, because a lot of times too, you think like, well, you do something on there and now you don't have any proof, but I've learned to save it. That way we can kind of go back, or even, if I need to print it out for somebody as like kind of like an anchor chart. That's one thing that I think they're less afraid to take a risk and make mistakes. To sum it up.
So the fact that the boards are easy to use, it makes the kids maybe feel more comfortable with their engagement with it. It's not intimidating. I completely get that. I work for a tech company, but I'm not the most tech savvy person in the whole wide world. I know enough to be dangerous. And And so every once in a while, I'll freeze with a new piece of technology. That's just me.
Well, and I would like to say these three ladies right here, they're sitting here like so fancy, but they are willing even to help each other. Like they will drop what they're doing to come help you with your board. Because if you come in the morning and I'm like, oh, I've never seen this message before, like, what do you mean you're not connected or whatever? They are very willing to help the people that we have, which makes it feel comfortable. Because if you're thinking, well, I'm not going to hear from someone all day. And again, I have slides set up. Like, what am I going to do? Of course, we're going to pivot and we're going to make it work. But they are very good about helping and being there for you. They give you their cell phone number. You know how to get a hold of them. So that's one thing I will say for those three. I'm very grateful technology wise. And they don't make you feel like you have a dumb question. Because I ask plenty of questions and I'm like, okay, this is going to be dumb. And they don't. They're willing to help you and even maybe teach you something along the way. So
that's wonderful. It's wonderful to have resources like that on your campus. Not every campus has that. And we're really thankful to have like resources like that available to teachers, because it's all about getting you as comfortable as possible, as quick as possible, because then you're actually getting the full benefit of the product that you guys have placed faith in and put in your classrooms. And that's what everybody wants to have. It be a positive experience, right? For utilizing the product. Do any of the rest of you ladies have anything you'd like to add on that?
I was actually in a classroom for most of the day today, helping out a new staff member. And something just as simple as we had some actual physical task cards that were supposed to be a sort, and we put them into a digital format where the kids could just drag and drop on the screen. And their engagement and just the way that their faces light up when they get to come up and move those things around, as simple as that sounds, it's just so great. Like, we did not have that piece before we had these boards, and they are so much more engaged, so much more into the learning. I mean, even the quietest kid who never raises their hand is standing up, getting the answer correct, all of those things. So that was just really encouraging to see.
That's wonderful. So looking ahead, what do you hope to, or what have you seen out there that you're hoping you can start seeing used on your campus with the technology? Or what are you seeing that's the next big thing that we need to be aware of for education in the classroom?
Well, I will say for us in our district, this is only really our second year to have BenQs throughout the entire district. And, in the beginning, it's kind of plug and play. Let's get them comfortable, then we get them moving forward. We're starting to see some Insta sharing where the teacher's more mobile and the learning's still happening on the board, but she doesn't have to be sort of right there with it. I think our next step for our district is really diving into the EZWrite, because it's such a fantastic interactive whiteboard. And getting even what Chandra was saying about the task cards. I've had a couple of instances where I've been asked to make them digital. And just the process of me converting what would have been a piece of paper or even a Google slide, converting them to EZWrite took me, minutes at most, like 3 to 4 minutes. And I was even surprised at how comfortable and how quick and easy it was to then turn around, move it to the teacher, and then see the processes that Chandra was talking about. So I'm hoping in the future that our district's going to start seeing a lot more use of the EZWrite, a lot of the transferring what we're seeing on the internet over to the lesson, as it can do when we're constantly showing them how to move things, how to move videos into an EZWrite lesson. The translation is going to become even a bigger thing for us. We just got a student from France, and she speaks no English. And so it's become a really big thing for us at that campus to get her, that her needs to be met. So I'm hoping that's going to be the move in our district, is just making the board at its most interactive as we can for the classroom.
That's wonderful. All right, so let me ask, final question for you guys. What advice would you give teachers about getting the most out of using the board in their classrooms or getting the students engaged? What would be your one thing that you would share?
I would say the most important thing that I would tell, we've actually just did a training with new teachers, and it can quickly become overwhelming, all the options that are offered on BenQ. And so we just have pretty much encouraged them to get in there and try things. You'll discover things learning by doing. And definitely, I would say getting the kids involved as soon as possible. As Korie mentioned, the ease of having multiple students up at a time and that they can write with their finger, erase with a flat hand, and not have to worry about using a stylus because we're talking kindergartners some of the time. And so how can we make it as user-friendly as possible for them? So I would say that would be my biggest recommendation, is just get in there and try things, and reach out to us when you need help or have questions, of course, because they've discovered things. A teacher was using split screen and had just figured that out on her own. We hadn't really gone through that in training as of yet. And so it's amazing what you can figure out just by doing the thing.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to add on to what Kim was saying. Just explore. That's what I hear from teachers who are using our boards, who are learning to use the board, to get like really dive into the nitty-gritty of it. It's just take your time, just don't be scared, and just explore all the features and tools and stuff that's there, and you'll eventually learn how to use them and incorporate it in your lessons. So great advice, Kim. Korie, you're in the classroom every day. So what would be your best quick advice to a new classroom teacher who's just starting her career?
I would piggyback on exactly what Kim said, is don't be afraid to try something. And you guys are exactly right. You're not going to mess it up. If it was possible, I probably would have already done it. But you know what you were saying about the EZWrite? So I will flip between that, especially like in the mornings when we're doing math. Don't tell my principal, but sometimes I allow like either 1 or 2 minutes of free draw. And long story short, they can earn a coupon to be the teacher in math, and so they get to come up on the board and they do Lone Star. But honestly, I'm pretty sure the only reason is because they want that minute of free draw in the EZWrite. So that's their favorite part. But I honestly think when we were introduced to our BenQ boards, they were telling us, like Samantha was in charge of us then, she was like, you're not going to break it, nothing's going to happen, don't be afraid to play. And I think that was the best advice. You know, just like my kids, if I say like, oh, be very careful, like, don't do this, don't do that, they're going to be terrified to use it. But when I tell them like, it's okay, Miss Smith makes mistakes all the time too, like they're not afraid to try new things. That's perfect advice. Don't be afraid to try it out, as long as you have a good support team like me.
And if you don't, then call us. Well, I want to thank all of you ladies for joining us today. Thank our friends at Royse City ISD. You guys let me be on campus with you guys recently. And Maddie and I were there with our video team doing a case study with you guys. We know how you guys are really expanding your capabilities from what you had previously with projectors to now having interactive boards in the classroom, how you're stretching and growing, utilizing the Google integration and really finding your way. And that's the one thing kind of is what Maddie was just saying, like try everything. You're not going to break it. And if you do, we have engineers for that, but just give it a try. There's no harm. But if you are looking for different ways to be able to utilize the board, whether you have assets like the ladies here on this pod with us today, or are looking to find it on your own, we do have our BenQ Academy that is available that you can go find all sorts of great videos and tips and tricks on. We do have our YouTube channel that is out there that you can find, that is available for you to like and subscribe so you can keep up with the podcast, but also see other videos of how to utilize the product. I would also say, we do also have an Instagram page, and we have a private Facebook group. If you haven't been invited to it yet, talk to your IT director. We will definitely invite you, but it's a really great place where teachers share different ways they're using the board. I know one of our engineers today said she was at a campus this morning and she went to go do something she normally does that was in Canva, and suddenly Canva's pulling automatically into EZWrite. And for teachers, I know there's so many teachers that are using Canva. We're going to have to show that off next time. So from Maddie, myself, and from the BenQ team here, and for the ladies at Royse City, thank you guys again so much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe our channel and look out for the next episode. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks for joining us on Teach Your Way with BenQ. For more resources and teaching inspiration, visit us online at BenQBoard.com. Don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode.